Hey guys, Civilord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Masterverse Wal-Mart exclusive, oh jeez, vintage collection Zodac. Brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel. And question, why the hell is Zodac the second figure in this line? I mean, really? If you don't count the 40th He-Man, I kind of do, kind of don't. It's a bit dated, but we'll talk about that later. The first figure we got in this line was Skeletor. And I guess the next one is going to be Faker, and after that, Stratos? The heroes are getting the short end of the stick, needless to say, and they still haven't announced when they're going to put out the yellow skin Evelyn they showed off last year for this line, so that's a bit up in the air at the moment. But at any rate, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get to the meat and taters of this review and take a look see at all Zodac has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a pair of alternate hands. We got a fist, and we got an open hand. That said, we also get another open hand. This one's even more open, which is weird. I don't know why he has 3 extra hands and Skeletor only got 2. But we also get Zodac's trademark blaster pistol right there. And it does have a blast effect that you could put in like so. That said, he also comes with this big ass, I don't know, Cosmic Defender's construct effect that you could put in the end of his gun. Like so. Now granted, some people online have been putting it in his left hand and saying, oh, he possesses the power of Cosmic. Well, I possess enough intelligence to say, that's fucking stupid and you're a dumbass. Since when have we ever gotten a shield in this line that's wielded like that? Come on, man. I'm all for using your imagination, but some fucking common sense. That said, that's all you get with Zodac. I think that's a decent enough spread. However, if we take a closer look at him, you can see that he's a lot of reuse of Skeletor. The arms appear to be the same, right down to these hands, I think. And the legs, I think, are exactly the same. The loincloth, yeah, that's probably the same too. I think his torso might be different, because it almost feels like he's got the fur texture on there, but I can't tell exactly. Maybe he doesn't, maybe I'm just tripping. But at any rate, he does share a lot of parts with Skeletor. These almost feel like they got fur texture on him. His shoulders there, but his biceps don't really have that, so that's kind of interesting. But the one thing I will say that is pretty cool is his helmet has the lenses, like with the merman eyes or the web store eyes. They have the little clear pieces glued in. That looks really cool. However, it doesn't look like the helmet comes off, although it does. It's pretty large on the body, and it looks like it could if you forced it, but I don't think there's like any secrets hidden in there. But at any rate, as far as his articulation goes, his head will shift forward and back, look up and down a little bit, tilt side to side, and rotate. A lot better than the Skeletor. I don't feel the need to pop this head off and shave a little bit of the peg down to get his head to turn. It just turns, so that's nice. Shoulders will go out to the side, back down, all the way around. No problems there. Bicep swivel, double elbow. Mind the fins, but that works just fine. Swivel hinge wrist. Wrong hinge for holding stuff, but it is what it is. If we undo his armor on the back here, armored, we can take a look-see at his torso articulation. Ooh. We can take a look-see at his torso articulation, because he does have the new torso articulation. Unlike Skeletor, you can shift his body back and forth, like so, as well as rotate it up here. and tilt it side to side. So that is nice. They gave Zodac new torso articulation. And this armor is not very difficult to get off. It should also be worth noting that the little kind of W on his chest, that glows in the dark apparently, and I think this thing does too, but don't quote me on that. That said, he does have a waist twist. That works just fine. I did have to crack mine loose though, so be mindful of that. He's got drop-down hips that I'm not a fan of. I will say this one was a little stuck on mine. On this side, it still kind of is, but it kind of isn't. I can't really tell. But at any rate, he's got the drop-down hips. I actually had to yank this leg off to get that to work. So, you know, take that for what you will. But he can kick forward, he can kick back, he can kick out to the side without the drop-down. With the drop-down, he can, of course, do... Well, he can't really kick out. He can kick out a little more, I guess, but really, it's not enough to have it, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't like drop-down hips at all. I think they're stupid. And, yeah, they just cause me problems. Like, I swear, this one feels like it's not shifted up all the way. And it's not going to shift up all the way. And that is annoying, but whatever. It's got a thigh cut, double-jointed knee, boot swivel, and a hinge in the foot. Oop. With a rocker joint and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So, cool figure. Stupid drop-down garbage notwithstanding, because I hate that shit. So, with that being said, I think it's time now that we straighten them out as much as we can, and to take a look at some size comparisons. I said that prematurely. He's not even straightened out yet. There we go. Alrighty. Now we can move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's our Vintage Collection Zodac, along with the only other character we've gotten thus far in the Vintage Collection, good old Skeletor, the Lord of Destruction himself, who utilizes most of the same parts, so I guess it makes sense that we got Zodac next, right? That said, this is of course not the first time we've gotten Zodac in the life of the Masterverse line. We also have the new Eternia version from a few years ago that, not gonna lie, feels a little dated compared to some of the Masterverse offerings we get nowadays. But I'm gonna say if you can kit bash these two, you will have the quote-unquote superior Zodac, you know, as superior as a character like freaking Zodac can be. That said, if you are wondering, no, the new Zodac's gun does not fit in the holster from the new Eternia one. It's a little too big. I mean, it does kind of sort of fit, but not really. I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't made for it, but whatever. So, getting these two out of the way. I also say, I think this old Zodac figure is a little smaller than the new one. That said, before I wrap things up here, bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legions Rhythmandibelith, right there, and the infamous 11 Spawn, who, as usual, he's not towering, but he's ever so slightly taller than good old Zodac here. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from being, well, freaking Zodac, I really like this figure and think it is a bit of a step up from the new Eternia version we got a few years ago now. However, I'm going to stand by my previous statement and say that if you kit bash the two of them together, you will have the quote-unquote superior Zodac. But at the end of the day, it's still friggin' Zodac, so who really cares, right? So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.